64 of Canto 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam. We welcome our Facebook and YouTube live listeners. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Brajabadhu Vargena Vakalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we would like to announce the participants of the quiz competition for yesterday. For Facebook, we'd like to thank Meena Mataji and Ranjani Gopika Mataji. And on YouTube, we'd like to thank Rajeshwari Mataji, Vrindavani Mataji, Shweta Manjari Mataji, Geeta Varadarajan Mataji, Rekha Mataji, Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu, Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu, and Barsana Chitra Mataji. Thank you so much for participating in this quiz, so we can all remember and remind each other of Krishna and his pastimes. So continuing on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful rasa of Lord Krishna's pastimes, his Leela. We are now coming to his Dwarka Leela we have been discussing. So today we'll discuss chapter 61 to 64. Lord Balaram slays Rukmi. This chapter actually lists Lord Krishna's sons, grandsons, and other progeny. It also describes how Lord Brahma actually killed Rukmi at the ceremony marriage ceremony of Aniruddha, Krishna's grandson, and then how Lord Krishna arranged for his sons and daughters to be married. So, Krishna, he expanded himself into 16,108 Krishnas, and he used to enter as separate Krishnas into his 16,108 palaces. And because of which all the queens started thinking, oh, Krishna always spends time with me. That means I must be his favorite queen. That is Krishna's potency, that he's so personal with everyone. He is in each and every living entity's heart, and he directs everyone. He knows everyone's personal desires. He knows personal thoughts. He sanctions those thoughts even if when those thoughts, before those thoughts come to us. That is all by Krishna. So he deals even with each and every living entity so individually and personally. What to speak of his 16,108 wives. The yogis, they are able to expand themselves only up till 7. And that too, 7 expansions of theirs, they are just mirror images. There is one real yogi, and then the expansions are mirror images. Whatever the real yogi does, all the 7 have to do the same thing again. But with Krishna, he's not limited to 7, and these are not mirror images. They are all individuals. When one Krishna raises his hand, it's not like all other Krishnas raise their hands. No, they are all interacting independently. And so everyone had this personal feeling. So then it is said that how Krishna had his sons, grandsons, all of those different like family of Krishna are explained here, where it says that Rukmini's son Pradyumna married to Rukmavati. You know who Rukmavati was? Rukmavati was the daughter of Rukmi. Rukmi is the person who is Krishna's enemy in one sense. But still, Maharaj Parikshit asks, how is it possible that Rukmi's daughter getting married to Krishna's son, how did Rukmi agree? And so Maharaj Parikshit says that actually Rukmi had arranged a Swayamvar, and Pradyumna went there and he kidnapped Rukmi and fought with all the princes, just like Krishna had kidnapped Rukmini. But then Rukmi allowed his daughter Rukmavati to be taken by Pradyumna, Krishna's son, Krishna and Rukmini's son, because he wanted to please his sister, Shukadeva Goswami says, who saved his life. Remember how Rukmini prayed to Krishna to save his life, and so Krishna just insulted him in that way. So that was the marriage of Rukmavati and Krishna. And in this way, they were all the queens of Krishna. They were enhanced by the beauty of the Lord and his loving conversations with them. But it is explained they could not agitate his mind, Krishna's mind, with the charming glances and gestures of their eyebrows or by any other means. So Krishna was a self-controlled husband as well. So in this way, even though each of them had hundreds and thousands of maidservants, they would personally render Krishna menial service, all the wives. They would love to do that. Why they would love to do that, we have understood in the previous chapter, where it was explained how Rukmini loves to serve Krishna personally, even though there is no dirt in the palaces of Dwarka, especially in the spiritual world, but still, Rukmini is trying to broom and clean the palaces herself, at least the room. So then, um, Rukmi's granddaughter Rochana got married to Aniruddha. Aniruddha is Krishna's grandson. Pradyumna's son was Aniruddha. Pradyumna and Rukmavati, son Aniruddha, got married to the granddaughter of Rukmi again. This he did again to please his sister, Rochana and Aniruddha. And then it said Bali, the son of Kritavarma, married Rukmini's daughter Charumati. Charumati was the daughter, Pradyumna was the son, Aniruddha was the grandson. Aniruddha and Rochana were getting married. Grandson of Kṛṣṇa, granddaughter of Rukmi were getting married. And at the wedding of Aniruddha, Baladev, Kṛṣṇa, all the Yadavas, they went to Rukmi's palace in the city of Bhojakata. After the marriage ceremony was there, Rukmi challenged Lord Balaram. Let's play a game of dice. Let's see what you have. Because Rukmi's friends told him, you cannot defeat Kṛṣṇa in the game of dice. But Balaram is not very good at it. But he likes to play this game. So challenge Balaram. So he challenged, Rukmi challenged. And Baladev said, all right, I accept. So there were 3 games of dice which were arranged. The first one was with 100 gold coins, second with 1,000 gold coins, and the third with 10,000 gold coins. The first one, Baldev lost. And Rukmi defeated Baladev in the first game of dice of 100 gold coins. And then there was the king of Kalinga who was sitting next. And he started laughing, displaying his teeth. There's a very special significance of this particular thing that king of Kalinga did. Now Baladev, he won the next round, next match of 1,000 gold coins. But Rukmi refused. He said, no, you didn't win. I won. And Baladev, who has such handsome face and handsome eyes, reddish eyes, they became even more reddish out of anger. And then Rukmi said, let's see the third, best of 3, right? Let's see the third one. This 2 I won, but still. So Baladev was what do you mean? Okay, let's go to the 10,000. He forgave first, accepted the 10,000 gold coins game. This one also Baladev won. But Rukmi said, no, I have won. Ask the other kings. Because Baladev was alone at that time. And all the friends of Rukmi were there. And all the friends of Rukmi said, yeah, Rukmi won. We all saw. Even though Baladev won. And Baladev could not handle himself, could not control his anger. He said, how come you do this? How come you can cheat like this? And then all the kings were saying, Baladev, we know. Anyways, you don't know how to play the game of dice. Even though you lost, you think you are winning. So he felt very insulted. And then there was a voice from the sky that came and said, Baladev has won the game. But Rukmi just ignored that. And they started insulting him. So Baladev, he has his club, Gada. He took his club and boom, he hit Rukmi. Rukmi fell dead right there. And then the king of Kalinga, who was laughing, displaying his teeth, he started to flee, he started to run away. But Baladev went after him, seized him, and he knocked out all his teeth. This was the special significance of him displaying the teeth. And then all the other offensive kings, their arms, their thighs, their heads, all of them were getting wounded by Baladev's blows from all directions. They were bleeding profusely. Seeing all this, Kṛṣṇa was watching all this. He was watching all this in amazement. What is Baladev doing here? And he neither showed approval nor showed disapproval. Because if he shows approval, Rukmini will feel bad that you are approving my brother's death. And if he shows disapproval, Baladev will get mad. Didn't you see? They insulted me. I was justified in killing him. So he remained neutral. He did not neither approve nor disapprove. He did not want to jeopardize his loving ties with either Rukmini or Baladev. And then Lord Baladev and all the other Yadavas, they took Aniruddha and his bride Rochana on the chariot and they went to Dwarka. Chapter ended. This is it. The next chapter. Aniruddha, who just got married. This is the story of the meeting of Usha and Aniruddha. There were Bali Maharaj, who was delivered by Vamandev. He had 100 sons. The eldest of those sons was Bāṇāsura. Bāṇāsura was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was so pleased with him that even Indra would serve Bāṇāsura. Because Bāṇāsura, he had 1,000 arms. And with his 1,000 arms, he played different musical instruments. And Lord Shiva, he danced his Tandava Nritya on Bāṇāsura's 1,000-armed musical instruments that he played. And Lord Shiva was so pleased with this service. He offered Bāṇāsura whatever benedictions, please choose. And Bāṇāsura asked, well, I only ask for your shelter. Please be my guardian. Please always protect me. So Lord Shiva said, sure. And one day, Bāṇāsura, he was the king. He felt that I should do some battle. So he told Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva, except you, there is no one who is worthy enough to fight with me. There's no one as strong. So these 1,000 arms that I have, they're just useless. They're just burden on me. I just carry these 1,000 arms with me, but I don't get to display or use them or display my prowess. Lord Shiva was very angry because this was such an arrogant statement that he was giving. And specifically, what does he mean by saying, except for you, no one is stronger? Does he want to fight Shiva? All these different things. This arrogance made Lord Shiva angry. Ashutosh, he's satisfied very quickly. He's also angered very quickly. But he's very Bholenath, very innocent. So Lord Shiva told, your pride, you're saying this with so much pride, your pride will be crushed when you meet my equal. You'll see your chariot flag will fall to the ground and it'll break. So anyway, cut this scene to the daughter of Bāṇāsura. Daughter of Bāṇāsura, her name was Usha. She, in her dream, she had a dream of a beautiful, handsome man. And she had that encounter with this lover of hers in the sleep. And this happened several nights in a row until one night she failed to see him in the dreams. And in her dreams, she suddenly awoke and she started talking loudly to him because she was missing him so much in this state of agitation. But then suddenly she saw there are all her maid servants who were listening to her in amazement. There was one companion of Usha. Her name was Chitralekha. She asked, Usha, who were you speaking to? And so Usha told her everything. This man comes in my dream and we speak loving words. And Chitralekha asked, who is it? So she described who this person was. And Chitralekha started drawing different pictures of different Gandharvas, different celestial personalities, just to also then slowly she said, who else is the handsome man? Maybe in the Vrishni dynasty. So she started painting all the people from the Vrishni dynasty. And Chitralekha asked, of all these Gandharvas, all these celestial personalities and the Vrishni dynasties, choose, select who is the man who's closest in your dream. And then Usha looked at all of them and she pointed out at one. She pointed to the picture of Aniruddha, Krishna's grandson. So Chitralekha understood. Chitralekha was not only a confidant of Usha, she had some mystic powers also. She used her mystic powers. She went and she picked Aniruddha in his sleep. She flew to Dwarka, found Aniruddha, brought him to Bāṇāsura's capital, which was Shonitapura. Shonitpura was the capital of Bāṇāsura. There, while he was sleeping, Chitralekha presented him to Usha. Usha became so happy and satisfied. She started serving him very affectionately within her own private quarters. Now, Usha's private quarters were off limits to any men. But then, after some time, the female guards of the inner palace, they started noticing symptoms in Usha of some romantic activity. And so they went to Baṇāsura. Hey, you know what? We are seeing something unusual in Usha. And so Baṇāsura felt, whoa, I need to find out. He rushed to his daughter's apartments with many of the armed guards. And to his surprise, he saw a man, Aniruddha, there in the quarters. And so as the guards attacked Aniruddha, Aniruddha took up his club and he succeeded in killing a few of them before Baṇāsura, the powerful Baṇāsura. He threw his mystic Nagapash, the rope of snakes, around Aniruddha. And Usha was filled with lamentation. This ends chapter 62. We go to chapter 63. Lord Kṛṣṇa fights Baṇāsura. Now, in Dwarka, when Aniruddha did not return from Shonitpura, his family and friends, 4 months, Chaturmasya, 4 months of the rainy season, they passed in extreme distress. Where is Aniruddha? Why is he not coming? There were no mobile phones. There was no WhatsApp. There was no way that you could keep anyone updated except through the GPS within the heart, the Paramatma, which was very much, people used to be in touch with them. So then they finally heard from Narad Muni. Narad Muni was the communication. How Aniruddha had been captured. And then Kṛṣṇa, he said, what? Aniruddha is captured by Baṇāsura? He took a large army of the best of the Yadava demons. Yadava warriors, I'm sorry. Yadava warriors. And under the protection of Kṛṣṇa, they went to Baṇāsura, the capital of Baṇāsura, Shonitpura, and they attacked it. Baṇāsura also started fighting fiercely. He had an army equal to size of the Yadavas. In addition, to help Baṇāsura, because Lord Shiva has promised protection to Baṇāsura, Lord Shiva came along with Kartikeya, the chief general, commander-in-chief of the Devatas, and the son of Lord Shiva. Came Kartikeya, Lord Shiva, all different mystic sages, ghosts, hobgoblins, all different kinds of living beings. And they came and they started fighting Balaram and Kṛṣṇa. Imagine Lord Shiva fighting Balaram and Kṛṣṇa. There are only 2 times when Lord Shiva has fought Kṛṣṇa. One time he fought Vishnu to. This was when Sati, last, I think, 2 episodes before we had discussed, where Sati, when she left, Lord Shiva started meditating, and he left his duty. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are the Guna avatar. And Brahma and Vishnu were there, but there was no destruction. So there was a lot of imbalance in the creation. So Vishnu wanted to inspire Lord Shiva to come back. And as a result, he asked Garuda, go and start eating all the snakes. He came to Vasuki also. And then Vasuki went to Lord Shiva. And in this way, Lord Shiva came to protect Vasuki, and Lord Vishnu came to protect Garuda. And there was a fight in this way. And technically, Lord Shiva hit Vishnu, but he felt very bad because he hit him in the heart. And Lord Shiva is in the heart of Vishnu. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. He is the greatest Vaishnava. And Lord Shiva did not like it. And taking this opportunity, Lord Vishnu said, you should come back and continue your service. So anyway, that was one time, and this is the second time to protect Bāṇāsura. Every time he has come to keep his promise, basically. But there was no, we should not consider this as an enmity between Lord Shiva and Kṛṣṇa, or Lord Shiva and Vishnu. So anyway, they were fighting, and Bāṇāsura, he started fighting against Satyaki, and Bāṇāsura's son started fighting against Samba, who was the son of Kṛṣṇa and Jambavati. And all of the devatas, they were in the sky to witness this great battle. This was much, much bigger than the battle of Kurukshetra. And then, with all his arrows, Lord Kṛṣṇa was harassing the followers of Lord Shiva. And he put Lord Shiva in a state of confusion, and he was completely able to destroy Bāṇāsura's army. Even Kartikeya was defeated. The commander-in-chief of the Devatas was beaten by Pradyumna, son of Kṛṣṇa, in such a way that Kartikeya had to flee the battlefield. And the remnants of Bāṇāsura's army, they were scattered in all directions by Balaram's club. Balaram was just fighting one-to-one with clubs. Now, in this way, when they saw this army coming up, and that Lord Kṛṣṇa was killing all of the Lord Shiva's army, Bāṇāsura's army, Lord Shiva, he sent something called Shiva Jwara. Shiva Jwara is a personified weapon in one sense. And in this way, Kṛṣṇa actually before Shiva Jwara, Bāṇāsura, when he saw this army is actually going dead, Bāṇāsura rushed to Kṛṣṇa to attack him. But first, Kṛṣṇa killed the charioteer of Bāṇāsura. And then he broke the chariot of Bāṇāsura, the bow of Bāṇāsura, and he was about to kill Bāṇāsura. Before that, he blew his Panchajanya conch shell. Boom. And as he was about to kill Bāṇāsura, somehow Bāṇāsura fled into the city. And Lord Kṛṣṇa, he thoroughly defeated the ghosts, hobgoblins fighting under Lord Shiva. And then, after Bāṇāsura fled, then the Shiva Jwara weapon came. Shiva Jwara, a personification of fever with 3 heads and 3 legs. He has 3 heads, 3 legs. Shiva Jwara approached Lord Kṛṣṇa as a tripod to fight him. Seeing this Shiva Jwara, oh Lord Shiva, you are sending Shiva Jwara? Kṛṣṇa said, here, I'll release Vishnu Jwara. And Vishnu Jwara, the personification of fever of Lord Vishnu, from Lord Vishnu, and Shiva Jwara, they started fighting. Vishnu Jwara overwhelmed Shiva Jwara, and he had nowhere else to go. And so Shiva Jwara, the personification of the weapon of Lord Shiva, took shelter of Lord Kṛṣṇa and started glorifying him. Please save me. Mercy. Lord Kṛṣṇa was pleased with the mercy petition of the Shiva Jwara. So Kṛṣṇa is so merciful. Even if we are offending him, somehow if we just pray to him, Kṛṣṇa, please have mercy. I'm sorry. Please save me. I'm repenting. Kṛṣṇa immediately forgives. This is the glory of Kṛṣṇa. But if we offend his devotee, that's a different matter. And then the Lord promised him that I will free you from all fear. Don't worry. Shiva Jwara bowed down to the Lord and went. Immediately as Shiva Jwara went, Bāṇāsura came and he attacked Lord Kṛṣṇa again. And he started sending all kinds of weapons through his 1,000 arms. Remember, all 1,000 arms, weapons going simultaneously. But Kṛṣṇa, he just had one weapon, Sudarshan disc. With his Sudarshan disc, he started cutting all the arms of Bāṇāsura, one after another. Seeing this, Lord Shiva said, game over. This is it. He went and took shelter of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Please, I have promised him my protection, but please give him your protection. And so Kṛṣṇa agreed to spare Bāṇāsura. He said, okay, I will not take Bāṇāsura's life, but I have actually come to cut his pride, because I cannot see pride in my devotees. So if he wants to take shelter, yes, but I will cut his pride by cutting all his arms except 4. 4 arms will remain, which means he'll have more arms than regular living entities, but not 1,000 arms. And so he said, the real reason I'm sparing him is because he's the grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, great grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He's the son of Bali Maharaj. So therefore, I will spare his life. You are petitioning, so all but 4 arms. But I want to destroy his false pride. He comes in the family of my devotee. I cannot tolerate pride in my devotees. I can go to any lengths. They may be as big as anyone can be, but I don't want their achievements. I want them. I don't want his achievements. I want him as the person, and pride is taking him away from me. So I will crush the pride. And when the devotee surrenders, Kṛṣṇa uses him as his instrument. And then he gave him blessing. I will leave 4 arms, but I also give blessing that henceforward he'll be free from old age, free from death. He'll remain fearless in all circumstances, and he will be one of your principal attendants. He is devotee of Lord Shiva. He could have said, Lord Shiva, you came to me, I'll spare him, but he has to become my devotee. No. Kṛṣṇa could very well do that. He has the power. But look at his etiquette. He's still saying he will remain your principal associate. And but I want to destroy his false pride, and also I wanted to annihilate his army because they were burden on the earth. So then when Bāṇāsura understood, I have nothing to fear, he offered obeisances to Lord Kṛṣṇa. And he arranged the marriage of Usha and Aniruddha, seated on the wedding chariot, and he brought them before the Lord. And then Kṛṣṇa went to Dwarka with Aniruddha and his bride, leading the procession. And when these newlywed, they went as an army to fight, but they came back as the marriage procession. And when they arrived in the capital, they were so much honored by the citizens, honored by the relatives of the Lord, honored by the Brahmanas. So this ends chapter 63, the marriage of Usha and Aniruddha. We come to 64 chapter, the deliverance of King Nrga, Nrga, Nr.ga, Nrga. One day, Samba and other boys of the Yadava dynasty. Samba was the son of Jambavati and Kṛṣṇa. They went to the forests to play. And after playing for a very, very long time, they became very thirsty. And so they said, let's go. Where can we find some water? They found a well. But when they saw inside the well, it was dry. The well was dry, no water. But they saw something. They saw a creature, amazing creature. It was a huge lizard. It resembled like a hill, like a small hill, but a huge lizard. From the point of view of lizard, it was huge. The boys felt sorry for it. It's stuck in the dry well. It's trying to come out. It's not able to. So they started, with some thongs and ropes and things like that. They tried to bring it out, but they could not rescue this creature. And so they went to Lord Kṛṣṇa, and they told him what had happened. So the Lord said, all right, don't worry, let's go, let's see. He came to the well with them, and he extended his left hand. It extended all the way down to the well, and then he easily lifted the lizard out. As soon as Lord Kṛṣṇa touched the lizard and brought him out, this amazing creature, this huge lizard, transformed into a heavenly denizen and into like a devata, a demigod. And so Kṛṣṇa asked, who are you? How did you assume such a lowly form of this lizard? Now Kṛṣṇa knew that. He's the Paramatma in everyone's heart. But he still wanted to ask this being, this creature. So this divine being, who was now transformed into this divine being, this lizard transformed, said, my name was King Nrga. I'm the son of Ikshvaku. And I was famous, so famous for giving charity. In fact, I gave countless cows to numerous brahmanas. And I know cows and brahmanas, nama go brahmana hitayacha. You love the cows and the brahmanas. And I used to serve the brahmanas by giving them cows in charity. But in one occasion, a cow that belonged to a first-class brahmana wandered into my herd. And then I gave charity of many cows, including that one cow, to another brahmana. So this first brahmana came to the second brahmana and said, hey, you have my cow. And the second brahmana said, what are you talking about? The king just gave me these cows. I cannot. He said, no, but this is mine. And so they were fighting. And so they came to the king and said, what is this? Is this cow belong to me or belong to this person? So King Nrga, being very humble, he paid obeisances to both of them. He said, I'm sorry. I take the fault. I take the blame. Somehow one cow from this other first brahmana went into my herd, and I gave that herd to the second brahmana. So he pleaded to the first brahmana, I'll give you 1,000 cows more in exchange of this one cow. Let this one cow go to the second brahmana. I'll give you 1,000 more cows. But the brahmana was, no, this is, once you gave charity to me, this is my property. Please, he said, please, unknowingly this offense was committed. Please But neither Brahmana was ready to accept. Then he said to the second Brahmana, give this one cow to him, to first Brahmana. I'll give you 1,000 cows. No one was ready to budge. Actually, not 1,000, 100,000 cows, which means 1 lakh cows, 100,000 cows. But the matter remained unsettled, and they went, both of them were offended, and they went. Then King Nrga said, shortly after that time, I died. I left my body, and I was taken by the Yamadutas to the court of Yamaraj. And Yamaraj asked me, in your account, there are some very much pious activities, there are few sinful activities as well. Which one would you like to take first? Would you like to suffer the results of your sins first and enjoy the results of your pious acts first? What do you want to do first? So he said, King Nrga said, I decided to suffer for my sinful reactions first, and I assumed the body of a lizard. And after King Nrga told the story, he offered the prayers to Lord Kṛṣṇa. He started saying, so I have suffered for my sinful reactions, and now I have become a Devata because of my pious activities. But one thing I'm not able to understand, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How come I had this good fortune somehow to get your visibility? Text 26, he says, O Almighty One, how is it that my eyes see you here before me? You are the Supreme Soul. The greatest masters of mystic yoga can meditate upon within their pure hearts only by employing the spiritual eyes of the Vedas. As it says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintyam Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So someone can see you only with the salve of love, the spiritual eye of the Vedas. Then how, O Transcendental Lord, how are you directly visible to me? My intelligence has been blinded by these severe tribulations of material life, but you are visible only to one who has finished his material entanglement. I'm just surprised by that. I'm not surprised by the lizard body that I got. I'm not surprised by this divine body that I have now received of the heavenly planets. But I'm just amazed. How come I have this good fortune? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains this. How come this happened? This is not explained in Bhagavatam, nor King Nrga is just surprised. But Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that because King Nrga was so charitable, one time he met a great devotee who wanted to build a temple of the deity of Govinda and obtain scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So being very generous, King Nrga, he readily supplied all these things to the Brahmana. So to help someone build a temple is a huge thing. And then this devotee was so satisfied that he blessed King Nrga. O king, I give you the blessings that you may see the Lord. Because of this blessing of that great devotee, Kṛṣṇa made sure that King Nrga gets the blessings from the Lord. This is the reason why Kṛṣṇa came to save King Nrga, because his dear devotee said so. To fulfill the words of his pure devotee, Kṛṣṇa delivered and gave his darshan to King Nrga. And in the end, he does not say this, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Kṛṣṇa said, okay, you enjoy in the heavenly planets, and after that, you come back to me. You will attain me. That was the blessing Kṛṣṇa gave in the end. And And this is a very significant thing. Srila Prabhupada has said, if you chant 16 rounds every day, follow four regulative principles, and assist me in preaching Mahaprabhu's mission, you will go back home, back to Godhead. So even though we may not be qualified, but if we follow Srila Prabhupada, Krishna will make sure that the words of his pure devotee will come true. One time, Srila Prabhupada was on his Vyasasana and he gave a very, very powerful lecture, Srimad Bhagavatam class. And he said, unless you are 100% Krishna conscious all the time, you cannot go back home, back to Godhead. And so all the devotees were really shocked. Oh my God, what will happen to me? Prabhupada is so strong on this point. I'm not able to do that. So then Prabhupada ended the class and he saw there was some moroseness amongst the devotees. And he felt that because of the point that he said, they might be a bit discouraged. So Prabhupada's, at that time, the Vyasasana was at a raised level and he had to come down through some steps before he walks away. So he was on the Vyasasana and then he came down one step and he said, all right, even if you're 90% Krishna conscious, Krishna will allow. Devotees are still morose. Then he came to the next step. He said, okay, if you are 75% Krishna conscious, Krishna will allow. Then this way he started coming down the steps, and then all the devotees were so still morose, like, we can't even do that. He said, okay, if you're 50% Krishna conscious, you can go back home, back to Godhead. And he then left. So if Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada took his chadar around his shoulders and then he left. So if Srila Prabhupada, we take his shelter, he will make sure. One time a devotee in Vrindavan, he was building the Krishna Balaram temple and he was building it with so many blocks. And when he was building, he was just focused on counting cement bags and he had to actually sleep on the cement bags because in Vrindavan, sometimes it would be seeing that these are Western devotees. Some of the people would think that they can trick them and steal the cement bags. So this devotee used to sleep on the cement bags so that in the night no one can steal it. And so one day he came to Srila Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, I have a question. May I ask you a question? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes. So he said, I see that, Prabhupada, I came to Vrindavan. I came here to the land of Krishna to be able to chant more, to be able to immerse and absorb myself in the pastimes of Krishna. But it seems that all I'm doing is counting cement bags and whether they have been stolen or not and safeguarding the cement bags. I'm more in cement consciousness than in Krishna consciousness. If I die now, will I become an insect inside the cement? Or what will be my destination? Srila Prabhupada said, don't worry. You are focused on your service. The service is given by your spiritual master, by Srila Prabhupada. If you follow this, even if at the time of death you're not able to remember Krishna, Lord Chaitanya will come into your mind and he will dance like a madman in such a way that you will not be able to think of anything else other than Lord Chaitanya. And you will go back home, back to Godhead. Just continue doing your devotional service seriously, whatever the service is given to you by your spiritual master. And so Srila Prabhupada was so merciful. If you just follow Srila Prabhupada, Krishna will make sure that his words would come true. So then King Nrga starts glorifying. First he says, I don't know what my good fortune is. He didn't know why this happened. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains it's because he served a devotee once to build a temple and spread the message of Gita and Bhagavatam. And then he starts singing beautiful prayers to Lord Kṛṣṇa. Deva Deva Jagannatha Govinda Purushottama Narayana Rishikesha Punya Shloka Achyutavyaya Anujani Himam Krishna Yantam Deva Gatim Prabho Yatra Kwapi Shatascheto Bhuyan me tvat padaspadam. O Deva Deva, Jagannatha, Govinda, Purushottama, Narayana, Rishikesha, Punya Shloka, Achyuta, Avyaya. O Krishna, please permit me to depart for the world of the demigods. Wherever I live, O Master, may my mind take shelter of your feet. Here, this verse is explaining in Srimad Bhagavatam about Jagannatha, Purushottama. These are all the names of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. In fact, there is another verse, the pranam mantra of Lord Jagannath is also starts with Deva Deva Jagannatha. So it's a wonderful thing here, Govinda. You like the cows and the brahmanas because he used to give charity of cows to the brahmanas. So he says, Govinda, O Narayana, Rishikesha, controller of the senses, please help me control my senses. Achyuta, you are never faultless because you never have any faults. Please, you are never failure in anything. Achyuta. That's why I never fail to be in my heart. This is how he is praying. Namaste Sarva Bhavaya Brahmane Nanta Shaktaye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Yoganam Pataye Nama. I offer my repeated obeisances unto you, O Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva, you are the source of all beings, the supreme absolute truth, the possessor of unlimited potencies, and the master of spiritual disciplines. So the verse glorifying Lord Jagannath, the pranam mantra of Jagannath, starting with Deva Deva Jagannatha, which is the same starting of this particular verse, they are given in Padma Purana, glorifying Lord Jagannath. Deva Deva Jagannatha Prapannati Vinashana Trahimam Pundari Kaksha Patitam Bhavasagare. So it's similar to this verse that is spoken by King Nrga, glorifying Krishna as Lord Jagannath. Then he circumambulates Krishna, he goes to the heavenly planets, and from there he will go to Krishna's abode. Then text 32 all the way down to 46, 44 are all the verses where Krishna is instructing his associates and the people who are with him, Samba and all the denizens of Dwarka, telling them how much it is important to serve the Brahmanas and not offend them. After King Nrga told his story, Krishna is saying what he's saying is true. Because of offending the Brahmanas, he became a lizard. How in text 32 he says, how indigestible is the property of a Brahmana? Once we should not steal a property of a Brahmana, even when enjoyed just slightly and by one more potent than fire. What then to speak of kings who try to enjoy it, presuming themselves as the lords? I do not consider halahala to be real poison because it has an antidote. But a Brahmana's property, when stolen, can be worse than poison, can be truly called poison because it has no antidote in this world. You have to suffer the reactions. Even Krishna is saying, I cannot save you. Poison only kills the person who ingests it. But an ordinary fire may be extinguished with a water. But the fire that is generated from kindling the wood of a Brahmana's property burns the thief entire family down to the roots. So we should be very careful not to offend the Brahmanas or take their property. If a person enjoys a Brahmana's property without receiving due permission, that property destroys 3 generations of his family. But if he takes it by force or gets the government or other outsiders to help him usurp it, then 10 generations of the ancestors and 10 generations of his descendants are all destroyed. Members of the royal order, blinded by this royal opulence, they fail to foresee their own downfall. Childishly hankering to enjoy a Brahmana's property, they are actually hankering to go to hell. For as many years as there are particles of dust touched by the tears of the generous Brahmanas, who have dependent families and whose property is stolen, uncontrolled kings who usurp a Brahmana's property are cooked along with their royal families in the hell known as Kumbhipaka. Whether it be his own gift or someone else's, a person who steals a Brahmana's property will take birth as a worm in the feces for 60,000 years. Kṛṣṇa is telling, this is not to scare you, this is a fact. I do not desire Brahmana's wealth, Kṛṣṇa says. Those who lust after it become short-lived, they are defeated. Therefore, my dear followers, never treat a learned Brahmana harshly, even if he has sinned. If he attacks you physically, repeatedly curses you, always continue to offer him obeisances. This is true for even Vaishnavas. Just as I always carefully bow down to the Brahmanas, so all of you should also bow down to him. Likewise, I will punish anyone who acts otherwise. Kṛṣṇa is saying, Brahmanas are so dear. When a Brahmana's property is stolen, even unknowingly, it certainly causes the person to fall down. But just as the Brahmana's cow did to Nrga, and final verse, in this way, having instructed the residents of Dwarka, Lord Mukunda, the purifier of the 3 worlds, entered his palace. So here we end today's discussion. And if there are any questions, we can take now. We also have some quiz questions that we will have and speak in a few minutes. But we'd like to thank Supriya Mataji for joining today, Meena Mataji, Swati Jhunjhunwala Mataji, Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu, Lalita Kartikeyan Mataji. Thank you all for joining. Rajeshwari Mataji. And Barsana Chitra Mataji has also joined. Dandavat Pranam. Sudesh Prabhu, Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu, Keshavi Mataji, and Venkatapati Prabhu. And all of you, thank you so much for joining today. And Menakam Tirumurugan Mataji, Ma and Baba, Lalita Chauhan, Meena Mataji, Jagadishwari Mataji, Sudesh Prabhu for joining today. Thank you all very much on YouTube. Before I thank the Facebook listeners today, the quiz for today is, what is the difference between Kṛṣṇa and his expansions and a yogi and his expansions? We have 10 questions today. This is the first one. Second, who did Pradyumna get married to? Third, in whose marriage did Rukmi challenge Lord Balaram for a game of dice? Fourth, how many sons did Bali Maharaj have and who was the eldest? Fifth, who is the companion of Usha and what special powers did she possess? Sixth, what was the city where Usha lived? Seventh, what are the 2 times when Lord Shiva fought with Kṛṣṇa or Vishnu? Eighth, what are the 2 main reasons for Kṛṣṇa to spare the life of the son of Bali Maharaj? Ninth, whose son was Samba? 10th, Whose son was King Nrga, and why was he cursed to become a lizard? Thank you very much. We'd like to thank our Facebook listeners, Ranjani Gopika Mataji, Divyangi Mataji. I see. Thank you so much for joining. Supriya Mataji again. And thank you for requesting everyone to like and share the video. Navarupa Giridhari Prabhu, Narsimha Gaurahari Prabhu, and Pushpa Preeti Mataji. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. I see Subhash Patil for joining. May Mataji. Yep. Thank you all very much for joining today. If there are any questions, we can take now. If not, then we will end here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.